So, do you know that actually in your day-to-day life, right, there are three types of risks? The first one is personal risk. This is actually it concerns about your health, your life, and maybe like early cancer protection like this. The second one will be property risk, whereby you want to protect your home, your house, home content, as well as if you drive or own a car, your vehicle, or other valuables in your property. The last risk is liability risk. This is where you may accidentally cause bodily injury or even death to third parties' life or their property. So these are the three types of risk in your day-to-day life. Sorry. So on the left, right, you can see collectively they are called life and health insurance. So you are very familiar. Basically, you have your term life or whole life insurance or hospitalization. That is a MediShield Integrated Shield Plan, which is here. You have endowment savings plan, or even long-term care like disability care or even retirement annuity. So collectively, they are called life and health insurance. Today, our focus on the right side of the slides will be general insurance, whereby I will touch upon the home and content insurance, personal accident insurance, and travel insurance. Those highlighted in yellow, which is the year-end shopping theme for today. So of course, when you buy for insurance, right, here are the key considerations for your protection needs, where is consider your financial situation, also your family and dependence, especially if you are the sole breadwinner. Also consider what are the coverage you require, and of course, also important to consider the affordability. Now I will touch on the part one, which is the personal accident plan. In short, I call it PA plan. So important, you are your most important asset. So must protect yourself and also your family. That is your spouse, your children, or even your parents. So you have read or heard about news, right? Articles like accidental death or injury, especially for example like PMD. So in this case, it's quite often, it's quite regular. It happened in Singapore. So as a result, there's a cause accidental death and injury along the streets, especially you're outside. So basically, the PA plan, personal accident insurance, what are the key features and benefits for you? First is as a financial coverage for you. Basically, it provides you with a lump sum benefits to cover for your medical expenses, etc. in the case of accident resulting in your injury or disability or even death. So the keyword is accidental death or disability or injury, not due to illness, okay? So PA plan secondly is a more affordable premium. Typically, it's an annual premium mode of payment. And it's a typical also lower premium and more cost effective to provide you another financial protection against accident. Thirdly, it also give you income protection in the event of let's say you cannot work for the period of time, you need to recover. A typical PA plan will actually give you like daily hospital income or weekly cash benefit during your recovery period. I will share with you more in the illustration also. You also provide additional support for your family. Say in the event of fatal accident, the PF plan that you have bought actually will provide a lump sum payment to your family or loved ones to help them cover for immediate expenses or even deaths. Most importantly, as an insurance, is to give you a peace of mind because accident can happen anytime, anywhere to anyone. So it will also cause physical and financial stress to yourself or even your family. So this is the key benefits of a PA plan for you. So what to look out for, right? So a typical PA plan, okay, remember the keyword is as a result of some accident, you injured yourself due to accident or disability or even accidental death. So the key coverage should include like accidental death and the benefits, the TBD benefits, sorry. And also like you actually incur medical expenses for injury due to accident. Then you incur outpatient treatment expenses. So imagine you actually did not buy a PA plan for yourself. Maybe you play soccer, for example, then you injure yourself. Then this is out of pocket expenses, you cannot claim. But if you have a PA plan for you, and due to the accident, you injured your leg, sprained leg or fractured leg, for example, then the medical expenses will be covered for. Then typically, it will also include like treatment by the licensed TCM or chiropractor, those expenses, if it's due to injury due to accident, as well as physiotherapy expenses for accidental injury. And of course, let's say due to the accident, injury, or this, right, then you have to incur this mobility aids, right? So there also that coverage for this as well. Then, as mentioned earlier, there's also a daily hospital income, usually kept to a certain limit, as well as home modifications, as well as a weekly cash. Just to give you an overview, what are the key coverage you should look out for from your personal accident plans. There are also some insurers who provide additional add-ons, or if you want to get medical expenses due to infectious disease coverage like dengue fever, like this. So if you are interested, do reach out to me. So you may ask me, who should get a personal accident plan? So my short answer to you is everyone. Okay. Basically, especially if you are sole breadwinner, or you have family members who are financially dependent on you, or you actually commute regularly on your motorcycle, bicycle, or electric scooters. Or you are a sports lover, okay, you do sports for a leisure or recreation basis, like you play football with your good friends or even basketball. So of course, this typically will exclude those dangerous sports and leisure activities. Then you also travel outdoor often for your work and leisure, and you're also active individual, even including pre-retirees. Let's say they have to go for a walk outside outdoor. So you never know, you may get injured due to accident, like those mentioned in the news. Of course, individual, especially who is self-employed, yeah, okay, if imagine they are injured, right? Then they need to some recovery period, then they are unable to work. Then they will have some weekly cash allowance if they have bought a PA plan. Also, working professionals are based on your occupations category. So this is extraction for one insurer, but typically, give you an idea, these are the two groups of occupations covered. So group A will be occupations or more professions, administrations, or light manual work. Example, like salesperson, auditor, accountant, homemaker, students, or even sales insurance agent or waiters. So group B will be profession or occupation involving manual of using tools and machinery, or even uniform groups, which is typically higher risk environment. Example, like hawker, cooks, construction worker. So typically group A occupation will have a lower premium. Okay, just give you an idea. Next is, okay, illustration on the personal accident plan. So say for example, Brian is married with 2 children. He is a sales manager and he likes to play soccer with his friends regularly. So he got himself covered with a personal accident plan 4, which is the highest plan from this insurer in case of accidental injury, death, or disability. So of course, with this insurer, I will not mention the name, but just to give you an idea, let's say he got this plan 4. Let's say he would like to have a coverage for with infectious disease covered, including dengue fever. His yearly premium, group A, is 1,000 plus. Yearly premium, not money, yearly premium. So that will actually give him the benefits of accidental death up to maximum 1 million, permanent disability of 1.5 million, something like that. So I will elaborate more during using the illustration. So Brian's illustration so he likes to play weekly football games, right? So he actually suffered one day, he suffered an unexpected leg fracture accident due to the football game. So he was taken to the hospital and admitted for further checks, and actually he incurred some medical expenses. So after visiting a doctor, right, he has to stay in the hospital for 6 days and given 8 weeks of medical leave to recover. So he actually incurred ambulance fee and medical expenses of this much. And luckily he has bought himself this plan 4. Then he also receive daily hospital income for the 6th day, which is $400 highlighted here. Daily hospital income, $400 per day. But there's a cap, but for his case, he was in the hospital for 6 days, so 406. Then he also received weekly cash benefits, which is $500. For his case, he actually was given 8 weeks. So in total, he can claim from this insurance plan 21K. So imagine if he did not get himself covered with a PA plan, everything is on himself, out of pocket, and eat into his own savings or funds. So after his discharge, right, okay, then he was recommended by his doctor to have a follow-up treatment, mobility aids, and physiotherapy. So because his plan 4, in fact, all the plans also covered up, but because he paid a higher premium for the plan 4, he has a higher coverage. So he can also claim those mobility aids and physiotherapy based on a reimbursement basis. So some FAQ for the PA plan, who can buy this eligible? Basically, you have a valid NRIC, valid employment pass or long-term pass, student pass, and you live and work in Singapore. Okay, for 15 days and 65 years old. So for those older active seniors, they actually some insurers have plans for active senior or silver generation. So if I are interested on this, or you want to get for your parents, yeah, reach out to me because I also got for my parents as well. And the free load period for personal accident plan is 14 days, okay, from the day they receive the policy. To give you an idea. So typically, you may ask me, does the PA plan cover food poisoning? Okay, for some of the insurer, yes. For this insurer, they will cover for bodily injury, even death or first injury resulting from food poisoning. So have to read the fine prints and the conditions. Reach out to me if you are also keen on this one. And of course, most of insurer will cover TCM or chiropractor expenses incurred due to the injury, due to the accident. Okay, accident, yes. Then maybe your last question for me is, if you have met with any accident previously, can you still eligible to apply? The answer is yes. Because when you actually purchase the personal accident plan, right, there will be a portion for you to declare whether in the past you have actually met with any accident before. So we have to provide more details then for the insurer to underwrite and assess the case. So that was part one for personal accident plans. So now I will move on to part two, which is the fire and home content insurance. Here's an overview, the same format. So you know the top causes of the residential fire in Singapore, that includes electrical fires, unattended cooking, of course PMD devices cause fire due to overcharge or maybe improper charging device, or even cigarette butts or joysticks. So do be careful to take note, make your home environment secure and safe. So of course you have also watched or heard about news about like fire caused by PMD or even unattended cooking. So do take note of this. So okay, now I want you to imagine, let's say one day, what if fire happens to near you? Let's say fire at your house, I mean touch wood lah, fire at your house or spread from your neighbor's house. What will happen? The impact on you and your family is you and your family definitely cannot stay for the night or the next few nights. You have to evacuate. And where do you stay for the time being? Likely you have to find your alternative accommodation for a few days or even few weeks or 4 months for renovations to go on. Of course, it causes financial damages to your house, your home contents, and your personal items and documents. As mentioned, also you will incur additional expenses for your alternative accommodation, be it hotel or home renovations, and also need to replace and buy new furniture or even sofa, bed, things like this. And also it also cause emotional stress, trauma, and financial stress to rebuild your home. Then also there are also other inconvenience, like you have to replace your personal documents like passport, IC, things like this. So a lot of inconveniences and stress when this happens. So here comes the importance to have your cover yourself, your home, you're a property owner, home fire and home content insurance. Let me break it down for you. So basically, fire and home content insurance, you can see from these three pictures. First part is building and structural coverage, home contents coverage, and as well as valuables. Basically, is to give you protection and coverage to protect your property that is caused by common events or due to, example, fire or lightning. Yeah. So let me break down further. If you stay in HDB, most of us do stay in HDB, including myself. Let's say you have an outstanding loan with HDB or even commercial banks. Of course, compulsory to buy a fire insurance. I'm sure most of you are aware, but just to note, this fire insurance only covers your home structure, building structure. It does not cover your home contents or even your own renovation that have you done up for your beautiful house. Hence, you need to have a separate policy. It means buy a separate home content renovation, home content insurance to cover your home contents including your renovation. So I also know that some homeowners have actually fully paid for your house loan. So the point is, if you have fully paid for a house loan, be it HDB or commercial bank loan, so important to get yourself covered for the structure as well. Meaning you have to get coverage for insurance for your fire and home content insurance, so that you are actually covered for both the structure and the home content. Home content including your renovation and home contents are. Okay, so this is for home loans, resident living in HDB. Next is, let's say you stay in a condominium. Okay, of course the MCSCs come to place. Of course, do note that MCSC, like our town council, yeah, but it's for the condo. They typically, of course, they just protect the structure of the condo lah, okay, so of course they will not cover your home content insurance. That means your renovations, your home content, furniture. Okay, but you can still cross-check with MCSD, but likely the answer is no lah. So in short, you must have a separate policy for your home content insurance that is to cover your renovations and furnitures, etc. that you have beautify for your house. So okay, so more details of fire insurance. Basically, fire insurance is for your structure of your home. So typically, these are the insured event caused by fire, lightning, domestic explosion, or bursting or overflow of water tanks, etc. So these are the typical events that will cause fire damages to your structure. For home content insurance, okay, so again, home content insurance is to coverage for movable items within your house that is belonging to you and your family. Within your house, so if you park your bicycle outside your house, that will not be covered. So movable items, your home contents in your house belong to you and your family. So of course, most of your furniture, kitchenware, or built-in wardrobe, all these are covered, including renovations. So aside, actually, there are insurers, they also provide other key benefits on top of structure and home content insurance. They also provide, like, let's say, remember the earlier scenario that I painted in your picture, alternative accommodation. Because you have to stay in the hotel, for example, for a few days, then there will be a daily benefit kept to a certain amount of days, and yeah. Then there are also emergency cash allowance to pay for your daily essential and clothing. And of course, medical expenses for injury. Let's say you, due to the injured event like fire or explosion in your house, you are injured due to the accident or even smoke inhalation, and then there will be coverage for the medical expenses. Stress payment as well, and family worldwide liability. This one I will cover more in the illustration later. Worldwide liability. So home content insurance also covered most of the key insured events like lightning, fire, lightning explosion, or flying object that does not belong to you hit your house, okay, or actual or attempted theft, as long as force and violence that is used to get into your house. But remember, let's say you're not in house or away or overseas for trip, right? Must lock the door. Let's say you forgot to lock the door, then it's your negligence. Then, of course, bursting and overflowing of domestic water tanks are also covered as well. So these are the typical insured events for home contents insurance, like resulting for your loss or damage. So here's an illustration. John and his family stays in a four-room HDB. A fully paid house, no outstanding HDB and bank loan. So he has incurred renovation costs of 50K, as well as home content around 50K. So he wants to buy a fire and home content insurance, because remember earlier on I mentioned that it's fully paid, so must also protect the structure, of course, as well as a home content. So a more holistic one. So actually you can see that because you have spent so much for your house, right, to beautify, renovate your house and make your house functional with home contents, right? You can see that the annual premium is very affordable. Let's say for this particular insurer, they also have a 3-year plans for you, give you some discount promo for the 3-year plan. So you can see that even annual premium alone is just $100 per year. So yeah, important to get yourself coverage for your home fire and home content insurance, especially if you have fully paid your house. So if you still have outstanding loan, that part will be taken care by HDB loan for bank loan. So you can at least cover for home content insurance. Okay. So earlier I mentioned that typically they also insurer also provide other key benefits other than protection or coverage for your home content, right? Or structure. They also give you like include coverage like family personal accident. So they have a coverage or limits then medical expenses for injury due to insured event, this much, and for family worldwide liability. Okay, so family personal accident coverage. So this benefit actually covers you and your spouse and children in case of accidental, this keyword is accidental death uh, and disability happen in your house due to insured event, example fire. Yeah, then up to a certain limit. This limit is due to this limit actually is based on the one insurer, just for reference only. Then of course medical expenses for injury due to insured event also covered, okay, for this insurer. So let's say this let's say you and family members who permanently stay there in the insured premises, you actually suffer injury due to the insured event, example fire in your house, and you actually injured, then you go for you incurred medical expenses due to the reason, then that will be covered. And lastly, most important is family worldwide liability, which also included in this coverage. Remember the earlier I give you an overview on the liability risk. This is the risk that I mentioned. Let's say if fire spread from your house to your neighbor, okay, then your neighbor might claim against you. Okay, so this insurance, home content insurance, will also cover some benefits for you. Say in this case, you or your family members are legally responsible for accidentally injured someone or cause loss or damage to someone's property. Let's say fire, then you cause damage to your neighbor's house. Then in this case, there will be coverage in the form of legal expenses will be paid for by the insurer for representing you. So give you an idea on this. So other benefits also valuables covered for home content insurance, yes, up to a certain limit, depending on each insurer. And of course, damage caused by bursting of water pipes and tanks are also usually covered. Okay. So that was part two for fire and home content insurance. So now I shall move to part three on the travel insurance. Here's an overview. So typically, you can look out for these few key benefits or coverage for your travel insurance, like travel inconvenience, just group in so that it's easier to understand. Travel inconvenience benefits, for example, trip cancellation. Let's say you fall sick before the trip, and there's a medical to support your cancellation. Then there'll be some coverage or reimbursement for those portions that you cannot claim reimburse from those maybe your airline or this trip cancellation or even travel delay more than 6 hours or other trip changes like you need to postpone your trip or shorten your trip or trip disruption, things like this. These are the typical coverage or even loss or damage of baggage or personal belongings. So usually there will be a cap limit on certain each of the subsection. So next is of course important lookout is a personal accident and medical expenses benefit. Because when you go overseas for leisure, especially or work, our worst fear is if we fall sick and incur medical expenses overseas or even back to Singapore after the trip. So that will be some coverage as well. Accidental death and permanent disability as well benefit, as well as overseas hospital allowance and emergency medical evacuation or even personal liability. Let's say you actually accidentally cause bodily injury to a third party or even to damage to the third party's property. Okay, so that will also be some coverage. So I'm sure that most of you are plan to travel soon. So good to I would say important to get yourself covered with a travel insurance because you already paid so much for let's say your Japan trip or Euro trip. Okay, so get a peace of mind. Okay, buy yourself and your family ones. Get a single trip insurance at least, yeah, to cover your one round trip back from Singapore. Let's say you travel to Japan, from Singapore to Japan and Japan back to Singapore. So that is a per trip or single trip. So there is also an annual plan. Let's say you travel often, then that can cover a multiple trips back to Singapore over a 12-month period. So typically when you do a coverage type, right, you can go for family or individual group. So if you are individual or group, typically you can buy for yourself or up to, let's say you have a group of friends traveling together on the same trip. Yeah, so we can actually buy under this individual or group. Or family. Okay, so family is really just like father, mother, and children. Okay, so that exclude your parents, siblings, or mate. Okay, so family, the definite definition of family here means you and your spouse, you and your wife, you and your husband, and your kids. Okay, so okay, can. So illustration. Let's say Cindy is traveling to Japan with her family in November for their family trip. So her depart date is from 28th November, then back to Singapore, 11 December. So number of travelers, so Cindy is traveling with her family, Cindy and husband and child. So family of three. Yeah. So with this, right, because Cindy has spent so much for her Japan trip, right? So don't save on the travel insurance. Get a peace of mind, enjoy your trip. At least you know that you have some coverage in case of some unfortunate incident happen. So let's say Cindy go for the mid-tier plans. Her premium is just $175 for her Japan trip. Okay, the period of time for family of three after discount. So that will give her some personal accident coverage, medical expenses overseas, and trip cancellation, things like this. Just to give you an idea. Of course, you want to understand more, you can reach out more to you can reach out to me, then I can actually help you do a comparison. Yeah, depending on your any choice of insurer. So as a summary, yeah, here's the year-end shopping list to protect yourself and loved ones. So remember, other than buy your Christmas gift, member must get yourself covered with a personal accident insurance, fire and home content insurance, and travel insurance to protect yourself and your family. So here yeah, just nice the timing. Okay, I have come to the end of my webinar. I hope you actually find this session useful. Have any question, you can drop in the Q&A button. So okay, so currently we have this travel insurance campaign with three of our insurers. But of course, mentioned earlier, we have many insurers as part of the travel insurance or the general insurance. So this is just one of three, which is with the current campaign, DirectAsia, Sompo, and QBE. If you are interested in this one, you can reach out to me. Of course, if you prefer other insurers, we also have like other popular insurance, you know, you can reach out to me as well. But just for this campaign, is these three insurers. Okay, so yeah, here's my reach out to me page. You can scan this QR code. You can reach out to me via my WhatsApp. Then I will actually come to you. I will reach out to you and we get in touch. If you have any queries or you need assistance on the general insurance, which include the personal accident plans, fire home content insurance, as well as your travel insurance. Because to me, actually, these three are very important. At least these three to protect yourself and loved one, whether you're in Singapore or you travel overseas, and protect yourself, protect your property, and protect your loved ones. Okay, so yeah, here I have actually concluded my webinar. So do reach out to me, or you can email me or WhatsApp me. Yeah, you can scan this QR code, save my number. If you have any question, do reach out to me. For the three essential insurance that I shared with you earlier on. Of course, I am also licensed in investment and other wealth protection instrument as well. If you are keen, do reach out to me or can drop by Toa Payoh branch. I'm in Toa Payoh branch. If you are nearby us, yeah, then you can drop by and say hi to me and have a chat with me. So I will just stay on this page for another 2-3 minutes. Yeah. So you have any question, you can drop the Q&A button. Alternatively, you can text me through WhatsApp, scan this QR code here, WhatsApp me to say hi to me or drop by Toa Payoh branch, yeah, or even email me. So I'll stay on this page, this platform webinar for another 2 minutes. If you have any question, you can reach out to me. Thanks. Thanks for staying on. So remember to reach out to me. You can scan this QR code, save my number first. Let's say in the future you have any queries on the three insurance that I covered share with you earlier on, or even investment topic, you can text me or drop by Toa Payoh branch. My name is Ivy. Yeah. I will stay on for another 1 minute. Yeah, over here. So if any query, you can drop your queries on the Q&A button. If not, you can text me over WhatsApp. Thank you. And thanks for attending this webinar. I hope you find this session useful. Feel free to feedback to me. Yeah. Or any interesting topic that you want me to cover, I can also bring up in the next few sessions with you. Thank you.